This is a story about alleged spying, a collapsed trial, and a furious row at Westminster. Now, it's complicated, but here are three big questions after these key witness statements were published. First, why weren't these statements enough? For the trial to go ahead, there had to be evidence that China was a threat to the UK's national security. Now, these statements don't use those exact words, but they do come pretty close. In one of the statements, it says China is the biggest state-based threat to the UK's economic security. Another says that China's espionage operations harm the interests and security of the UK. And they also give examples of cyber espionage and individuals trying to be recruited to spy for China. Given all of that, there are many MPs and legal experts that wonder why this wasn't enough for the Crown Prosecution Service to go ahead with the trial. Second, why didn't the government hand over more evidence? Now, the man who was prosecuting this, in charge of bringing it to trial, said he had 95% of the evidence that he needed, but the government wouldn't, or maybe couldn't, provide the extra 5%. Now, this is what the Conservatives, the Tories, are focusing on, and they are questioning whether the government was maybe worried about explicitly saying China was a threat to national security at a time when it was also trying to get closer economic ties with the country. Lastly, why was a chunk of the Labour manifesto included in this evidence? Now, Sir Keir Starmer has been at pains to say this isn't anything to do with his government's position on China, it's to do with the previous Tory government's position, because that was when these alleged crimes, the alleged spying, took place. But given that, it might seem a little bit odd that in one of these witness statements there is word for word a reference to Labour's manifesto and its policy on China, and also a reference to the government wanting more positive relations with China. Now, the government say that that was put in there by the senior official that wrote it, that he wasn't lent on by ministers or anyone more political in government. Others question, though, whether that somewhat softer take may have played a part in the CPS's decision to drop the case.